Ama kimse kolay olacağını söylemedi.
On the other side.
Fantastic.
Heyecan, macera, eğlence ve kahkaha. Dizismart Go. Çocuk deyince o. Sadece Dizismart abonelerine özel mükemmel teklif, sınırsız eğlence. Dizismart abonelerini binlerce içeriğin yanında sınırsız internet fırsatı da bekliyor. 24 megabite kadar hızlı, AKN'siz, kotasız, doya doya internet Dizismart Net'le ayda 675 lira. Detaylı bilgi için net yazıp 2850'ye gönderin, sizi arayalım. Huzuru arayanlar, riske girmeye bayılanlar, korkularıyla yüzleşenler, hayatı hep tiye alanlar, her duyguya, her zamana ve her sinema severe göre. Burası Dizismart Go. Dizismart Go. Film deyince o.
Hollywood legend Thomas Jeffrey Hanks was born on the 9th of July, 1956 in Concord, California. As a teenager, Tom studied theater, then took acting classes at California State University before moving to New York City, where he slowly but surely built up his reputation.
I've been an actor for 20 years, and it's been a very slow progression for me. I didn't have to deal and overnight suddenly becoming the hottest thing in town, which is a very dangerous thing and a hard thing in order to survive. So for me, I've always felt as though I've been very, very fortunate and I've received some sort of reward for an awful lot of hard work that I've done.
He finally became a household name in 1988, thanks to his Golden Globe-winning performance in Big, a touching comedy that became a worldwide smash.
What we do for a living is show up to work and put on other people's clothes and pretend to be somebody else. That's what we do. And that takes an awful lot of imagination. That is fun. It's a fun job. But to do that and have to be 13 years old, pretend to be somebody who is 18 years younger than you are, that's a whole different brand of fun, because you have fun doing it, but you also get to be a 13-year-old kid who gets to play all day long.
Despite being best known for his comedy work, Tom then stunned the industry by winning an Oscar for his dramatic performance as a gay man suffering from AIDS in Philadelphia.
I've never played a character who knows that he's going to die. You know, I've never experienced that. And to have that be, even though that is only a part of what our movie is about, it's such a big part of what our movie is about that, yeah, it makes you, you have to go a farther distance in order to have a real understanding about that.
For a select few stars, this is as good as it gets. But just a year later, Tom tied Spencer Tracy's record by winning a second consecutive Best Actor Oscar, this time for Forrest Gump.
My mom always said that life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
That's funny. What would Forrest say tonight? I think Forrest would say, so, I went to the Academy Awards again. And they gave me the Academy Award again.
Over the years, Hanks has never shied away from a challenge. Like in Castaway, where the only thing his character has for company is a volleyball called Wilson.
I had bona fide conversations with Wilson in the course of making the movie. I heard every word. We, in fact, would sit down and figure out. Sometimes we didn't necessarily write it down on paper, but I knew exactly what Wilson's lines were back to me.
He also took on the movie adaptations of the best-selling book The Da Vinci Code and its sequels, put his voice to the cowboy Woody in the Toy Story series, and even tried his hand at directing for the romantic comedy Larry Crown.
And we cut.
In addition, Hanks has enjoyed numerous collaborations with Steven Spielberg, from Saving Private Ryan through Catch Me If You Can, The Terminal, Bridge of Spies, and the 2017 journalism drama The Post, where he got to work with the legendary Meryl Streep.
To sit there on the set with her for about 40 minutes and talk about what we're going to try to do once the cameras are up, there's no better way of working. And even though she does it like everybody else does, she does it unlike anybody else can. She's the greatest that ever existed.
After more than 3 decades in the business, Tom Hanks has risen from supporting player to Hollywood icon. Of course, looking back on all his accomplishments can be a bit daunting for the star.
Look, I get it. I know what I do for a living. It's a good job, but you know, it's intimidating to realize that, holy smokes.
Yıldız Tozu başlıyor.
Catherine Bigelow imzalı Ölümcül Tuzak ve Ben Affleck imzalı Hırsızlar Şehri'yle Oscar'a aday gösterilen Jeremy Renner, çocukluğundan itibaren yeteneği olduğu gözden kaçmayan oyunculuk mesleğine 1990'ların ilk yarısında Los Angeles'a gelince kavuşmuş bir aktör. 2000'lerle birlikte hedef büyüten ve Hollywood'un tozunu attırmaya başlayan oyuncu, Şahin Göz olarak da bilinen Clint Barton kimliğiyle Marvel'ın Avengers evrenindeki yerini de almıştı. Charlize Theron ve Tom Cruise'la yakın arkadaş olan Jeremy Renner, Görevimiz Tehlike serisindeki William Brandt karakteriyle arkadaşının yanında durmayı da unutmamıştır.
Yıldız Tozu başlıyor.
Kıvır kıvır saçları ve hızlı konuşmasıyla kendine has bir görüntü sunan Jesse Eisenberg, David Fincher şaheseri sosyal ağdaki Mark Zuckerberg performansıyla Oscar'a da aday gösterilmiş bir aktör. Özellikle bu çalışmada rol aldıktan sonra hızlı bir yükselişe geçen oyuncunun en sevdiği filmin Woody Allen imzalı Suçlar ve Kabahatler olması şaşırtıcı değil. Zombieland filmleriyle de şöhretini parlatan Jesse Eisenberg, Superman'in azılı düşmanı Lex Luthor karakterinde de çarpıcı bir sonuca ulaşmış durumda. Bağımsız filmlerle başlayan kariyerindeki tırmanışı örnek alınacak cinsten. Çocukların doğum günü partilerine giden profesyonel bir palyaço olan annesinin ona kattıkları da gözden kaçacak gibi değil doğrusu.
Şu anda yanımda onlarca sivil var. Burada bir kaos yaşanıyor. Lütfen yardım edin.
Torunum oradaydı. Telefonu kesildi. Gören varsa...
Gördüklerinizin hiçbiri gerçek değildi. Ama gerçekmiş gibi hissettirdi. Yapay zeka ile üretilen içerikler gerçekmiş gibi görünebilir. Gördüğünüz her şeye inanmayın.
Gerçeği ayırt et. Gözlerine değil, aklına güven.
Radyo ve Televizyon Üst Kurulu.
In this episode of Zoom In, the classic story of Peter Pan is wildly reimagined in the ragtag epic starring Devin France, Wendy.
Want to fly? We can fly? Really fly? Fly! Tell Mama I'm just staying a little longer. Tell her I miss her and I love her.
Lost on a mysterious island where aging and time have come unglued, Wendy must fight to save her family, her freedom, and the joyous spirit of youth from the deadly peril of growing up.
Beware, children. You can lay leave yourself behind. You won't even know when it happened.
This is where lost boys go when they're really lost.
All children grow up. But some, the wild ones, the ones with a light in their eye, escape.
Distributed by Fox Searchlight Pictures.
Tell Mama I'm just staying a little longer. And tell her that I'm being wild as hell.
Production budget, $6 million.
This film, it was both kind of the movie that me and my sister Eliza wanted to make our whole lives, and we sort of also wanted to have the greatest adventure we've ever had, and we sort of designed this film that would let us live that, and we very much did for a very long time.
Directed by Ben Zeitlin.
Remember the voice in your head? The one that said, sneak away. Crazy! Wendy, wait! Here's the place it came from.
It sort of follows the story. It follows the story of Peter Pan through Wendy, and then it takes a hard right turn and goes places that you would never expect it to go.
This movie is kind of like an entire retake on the Peter Pan franchise, or the Peter Pan story. It's got a lot of action and adventure, and it's really, I think it's got a really good meaning behind it.
We're twins in the movie. We're Wendy's brothers. I'm the one that does everything. I'm the one that wants to do anything. If they have something engaged, I want to do it, I'm like, oh, let me do it. So it's like, if he don't want to do it, I'm going to do it. And I'm the one that's always leading the stuff. If it goes down, it goes down because of me.
So began the legend of Peter, the boy who would not grow up.
We very much write based on things that we find and people that we meet. So, you know, we had our story, we had our plot, and then each time we met an actor we felt like needed to be part of the film, we would rewrite their roles. Sometimes we'd add roles, we'd find places that were spectacular, we'd write them into the film. And so everything in the script was constantly evolving and changing based on places that we were exploring and people that we were finding to cast in the film.
I've been seeing a lot of things. They're saying, oh, it's just another remake of Peter Pan. It's really not. It's a different perspective from a different person.
Me and Wendy are both really adventurous and curious and super outgoing, and she's so helpful to everyone. And I think when I played Wendy, I can really go into character with her because Wendy is me.
Want to fly? We can fly. Really fly? Fly! Tell Mama I'm just staying a little longer. And tell her I miss her and I love her.
This is the room in the building that changed my life 8 years ago, and it, you know, to go on such a long journey and have it come back here for this moment is really feels exactly right, like it's what was supposed to happen all along. So yeah,
I think the audience will really enjoy the movie because it's very heartfelt, and I think for some people it's going to really touch them in a certain spot that might, you know, really mean something to them. So I think that instead of just being a Peter Pan movie about never growing up, that this is going to have such a deeper meaning, and it's going to be therapeutic, I think, for some people, maybe.
It has a lot of features, like cool features. We've made, like, we saw the behind the scenes yesterday, and it's really cool. We have, like, a lot of imagination that we have to use in the movie, and it's basically a mystical type movie.
Beware, children. You can leave yourself behind. You won't even know when it happened.
This is where lost boys go when they're really lost.
All children grow up. But some, the wild ones, ones with a light in their eye. Escape.
So that's a wrap on Wendy. See you next time we zoom in. In this episode of Zoom In, Scarlett Johansson reprises her role as Natasha in Marvel Studios' action-packed spy thriller, Black Widow.
I used to have nothing. And then I got this job. This family. But nothing lasts forever.
Also starring Florence Pugh as Yelena, David Harbour as the Red Guardian, and Rachel Weisz as Melina.
Who the hell is that guy?
Distributed by Marvel Studios.
What brings you home? We have unfinished business. We have to go back to where it all started. Lucky us. One thing's for sure. It's gonna be a hell of a reunion.
Production budget, $150 million.
I'm just excited.
Directed by Kate Shortland.
Black Widow's multi-layered and, motivated and determined and all of those things. And she has an arc. I would love to take this character in every different direction.
I'm always picking up after you boys.
The possibilities are really endless.
You don't know everything about me. The Avengers weren't my first family. At some point, we all have to choose between what the world wants you to be and who you are. Before I worked for S.H.I.E.L.D., I made mistakes. But I'm done running from my past.
Very few actors can say that they've worked on a character for 10 years and then suddenly have this chance to delve deep into the inner workings of this person.
I heard you had to leave in a hurry.
It's never easy these days.
So what are you going to do?
I've lived a lot of lives, but I'm done running from my past.
I know you're out there.
I know you know I'm out here. So we're gonna talk like grown-ups? Is that what we are? It's good to see you too, sis. What brings you home? I'm on the run. I was trying to do something good. You're more than just a trained killer. You're fooling yourself. We are still both trained killers.
There's one movie people have been asking us to make for a very long time. More so than any other film. The Black Widow movie.
We have unfinished business.
Who's we?
Still fits, Family, back together again.
You got fat.
Smelling water wet.
We're going to be able to create something that is a different flavor for the Marvel Universe.
I tell people my sister moved out west. You're a science teacher. Your husband, he renovates houses. You're thinking about moving, but you're gonna wait until the interest rates go down.
That's not my story.
I'm just excited to see the real Black Widow. She's not a classic hero because she has a dark past.
Before I was an Avenger, I made mistakes. And a lot of enemies.
call signs Taskmaster. He controls the Red Room. They're manipulated, fully conscious, but no choices.
I should have come back for you. How many others are there?
Enough.
You get to see all these facets of her that we've never ever seen before.
We have to go back to where it all started. So they never do that to anyone again.
We're a family. We fight with you.
You won't win. I've always found it best not to look into the past.
Okay, you got a plan, or shall I just stay duck and cover?
My plan was to drive us away.
Well, your plan sucks.
At some point, we all have to choose between what the world wants you to be and who you are. I made my choice. I'm done running.
So that's a wrap on Black Widow. See you next time. We zoom in.
Bu diziyi dilerseniz Türkçe dublajlı, dilerseniz kumandanızın sarı tuşuna basarak orijinal dilinde Türkçe altyazılı izleyebilirsiniz.
TGS'yi neden seviyorum konulu izleyici kompozisyonları geldi. Neden peki? Ay, lütfen şey olmasın.
Geleneksel TGS figüran seyirci yarışması. Harika reklamlarımın. Birisi bizzat NBC'ye çıkarsa kanalı izleme ihtimali %4.
Yine mi yapıyoruz? Geçen yıl olanlardan sonra mı?
Gazlı Pepsi onu yiyemezsin.
Beyaz Saray beyaz kalsın.
Bu yarışmalara kim katılıyor sence? Tuhaf tipler.
Kompozisyonları bir oku Lemon, ölmezsin ya.
Öyle mi? Çünkü bu kanlı bir büstiyerin içine yazılmış.
Birini seç gitsin. Bu arada sence hangi kravat daha iyi?
Siyahi bir genç değilse erkek adam pastel giymez dersin.
Genelde öyle ama Avery hakkında konuşmak için...
Hayatın tüm bu koşturması içinde aklınız faturalarda kalmasın, keyfiniz kaçmasın. Dizismart keyfini kesintisiz yaşamak için hemen otomatik ödeme talimatı verin, rahat edin. Otomatik ödeme talimatı vermek için Dizismart çağrı merkezini arayabilir, Dizismart.com.tr'den online işlemler menüsünü ziyaret edebilir veya bankanızla görüşebilirsiniz. Hayatı kolaylaştıran akıllı çözümleriyle Dizismart hep sizinle.
Dizismart her televizyona şart.
Kaçırdım diye üzülme.
Çak çak çak.
Etkileyici hikayeler, en sevdiğin yıldızlar.
Beni seviyor musun?
Ve unutamadığın performanslar.
Poyraz affedilecek. Kaldığımız yerden devam edilecek. Bu kadar.
Hepsi bir arada, hepsi Dizismart Max'ta. Türk televizyon tarihinde fırtınalar estiren yerli diziler burada seni bekliyor.
Allah'ın delisi.
İster evde TV ekranında, ister Dizismart Go'yla her an yanında.
The paparazzi love this actress and singer when she hits the red carpet. Luckily, she doesn't have to work too hard at being fabulous. She was born this way. That's right, we're talking about the one and only Lady Gaga. Ever since she broke onto the scene, Gaga's been shocking us with her looks. Whether she's posing in a blue wig with insane shoes at the 2011 CFDA Awards, or arriving at the 2013 AMAs in a flowing purple Versace dress on a fake horse. Although she's known for her outrageous fashion statements, the mother monster also knows how to keep it a bit classier at times. Check her out at the 2014 Academy Awards, where she's stunned in a metallic, curve-hugging column gown with Art Deco-style embellishments. Giving an extra chic spin to the look, she pulled her hair into a classic updo and draped a dramatic lavender sash around her neck. The following year, the singer was back at the Oscars and turned heads in custom Alaya. It's a pretty demure look at first sight, but in true Gaga style, she topped off the look with a pair of red leather gloves, matching hair accessory, and a crimson pout. Stepping out at the 2015 Emmy Awards, the singer looked like a true lady as she opted for a classic floor-length dress with asymmetric neckline. Keeping her hair and makeup simple, she finished off the look with a pair of Lorraine Schwartz earrings. The multi-talented star went all out again for the annual Met Gala, though. Walking the New York Museum's famous steps, she channeled an Eastern vibe in a big sheer Balenciaga robe and was accompanied by designer Alexander Wang. The following year, she opted for a less grand look, but equally stunning, rocking up in an edgy Versace bodysuit, fishnet stockings, and sky-high platform boots. Sticking to the theme of the night, fashion in an age of technology, her silver jacket resembled computer circuit boards. At the 2016 Golden Globes, the blonde beauty looked every bit the movie star as she glided down the red carpet in black velvet Versace. Channeling her inner Marilyn Monroe with a retro bob and smoky eye, Gaga glowed with her then-fiancé Taylor Kinney by her side. As always, the singer-slash-actress impressed at that year's Oscars as well. Opting for another old-school Hollywood look, she sported a flowing strapless jumpsuit from her stylist-turned-designer pal, Brandon Maxwell, topped with a reported $8 million in Lorraine Schwartz jewelry. Hitting the Vanity Fair party afterwards, she switched things up just a little, posing in front of the photographers in a similar outfit, but this time the ensemble featured a halter-neck bodice. As an award-winning musician, Gaga rarely misses the Grammys, and in 2016 she paid tribute to the late David Bowie. Going full-on Ziggy Stardust on the red carpet, she wore a bold blue embroidered gown from Marc Jacobs and paired it with red platform boots, heavy blue eye makeup, and a bright orange hairstyle. For the American Music Awards, she pared it back, though, with the Joanne hitmaker turning up in a chic white pantsuit and a dramatic wide-brimmed hat. And near the end of 2016, she kept the classic theme going. Jetting off to London for the Fashion Awards, she chose a very timeless look, once again from Brandon Maxwell. Premiering her documentary, Gaga 5'2", at the 2017 Toronto Film Festival, the singer kept things simple for the press conference, but she was back in action at the screening, greeting her fans in an extravagant La Nada studio ensemble. And still in 2018, Gaga loves to mix up her looks. Attending the annual Grammy Awards in a custom Armani Privé hybrid design, she showed some leg in a sheer lace bodysuit, peeping out from under her dramatic black ball skirt. Pulling her hair back in French braids and opting for a dramatic smoky eye, the songbird also showed her support for the Time's Up movement by pinning a white rose to her chest. No, Lady Gaga doesn't let the fame go to her head and always brings her fashion A-game on the red carpet.
Hollywood icon Tom Cruise developed a love of acting as early as the 4th grade and made his big breakthrough in 1983 with the sexy teen comedy Risky Business. But the young star already seemed to have his whole career mapped out.
All the scripts were coming in, it was risky business, and I thought, I have to protect my talent here because I know I want to grow, I have to develop, and I don't want to burn out, and all of a sudden, 7 years from now, I don't have the opportunities anymore.
Thankfully, Tom's next choices turned out to be excellent, like the classic blockbuster Top Gun.
It's totally entertaining. People just go in there and it's emotional, it's exciting, it's funny, and they just sit down and they just go on this, wonderful ride.
In 1989, Cruise fell for his co-star Nicole Kidman on the set of Tony Scott's racing car drama Days of Thunder, and the couple loved working together so much they hooked up again for Far and Away.
I work every day, working on trying to get projects for the next one, or doing research. So you better have someone that really understands that, and even better to be able to share it with, and someone that you have a tremendous amount of respect for. So I think it's a wonderful thing.
The remainder of the 90s flew by in a haze of constant success. In '96, Tom kicked off a brand new franchise called Mission Impossible.
With Mission Impossible, I said it's going to cost X amount of dollars, and it cost X amount of dollars, and they just leave me alone and let me deliver them the picture. And I think that's the good thing about it, that I've earned that kind of, that privilege, and I do feel it to be a privilege.
And there was a third collaboration with Nicole in Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut, an intense film exploring the dark side of marriage and sexuality.
I'm glad that we went through it at the stage of our marriage that we did, as opposed to in the first year. It would have been, I think, more difficult to do that, because you really have to trust the other person and know and be willing to look at those things in someone else's life, and hers and mine and hers, and it helped us through.
Sadly though, in early 2001, the couple announced their separation, and his next marriage to Katie Holmes also crumbled. Cruise's response was to put his head down and work harder than ever, starring in a string of hit pictures throughout the first decade of the new millennium.
I love what I do. I love showing up on the set and working with the writers and the directors and the other actors. And there's a thrill and an exhilaration of working, you know, an 18-hour day and knowing you've done good work and you feel very proud of yourself for that. I want to make great films. That's what I'm interested in.
In particular, Cruise has become known for being willing to do his own stunts on his films, no matter how crazy, and he's begun to work behind the scenes, encouraging his co-stars to do the same, like Swedish actress Rebecca Ferguson in the 5th Mission Impossible film, Rogue Nation.
I had vertigo before, massive vertigo, and I told Tom, and he said, that's fine, we have a stunt double, you don't have to do it, but you want to try and see if you can overcome it. But it took about a month and a half.
And over 2 decades after the blockbuster franchise kicked off, in 2018, Mission Impossible Fallout, the 56-year-old took those famous stunts to a whole new level.
Oh, definitely. It's the most practical action I think ever shot in any film in the history of films, actually. When we added up the most practical, we were pushing it. We didn't really kind of think about it until we looked at the movie and thought, what? You know, look at how many things we've done.
Now an industry veteran with decades of experience, Tom Cruise comes second to none in his commitment and dedication.
Generally, I'm shooting a movie and I'm working on the edit and overseeing the film that I just finished. And so what I do is, and I'm prepping the next one. So that's just how I work. And I've spent the last 35 years of that making movies in that way.
In this episode of Zoom In, Steve Carell and Rose Byrne star as feuding election consultants in the political comedy set in small-town Wisconsin, Irresistible.
All you have is fear.
20 bucks says I do better with fear than you do with shame.
The Democrat Party can't win. They're getting desperate. This is really just another perfect example of the DC elite trying to dictate how we should live.
That's we. You're DC elite.
Oh, no, actually, I'm from here.
Written and directed by Jon Stewart, the film follows a Democratic political consultant who helps a retired Marine colonel run for mayor in a small right-wing town.
I would like to offer my services. Can we quiet the cows, please? To help you run for mayor of Deerlocking. And if you could get some of them to face front. Oh, my God.
Distributed by Focus Features.
I'm gonna make a big deal of this.
It's on here, boys. Game on.
Production budget, $45 million.
And cut.
Tail sticks.
That's great.
Directed by Jon Stewart.
Democrats are getting their asses kicked. We need some way to road test a more rural-friendly message.
If you can't live your principles in the bad times, I guess they aren't principles, they're just hobbies.
Nice.
John Wayne and a tractor have a baby, and all you can say is nice.
Really nice.
Oh my God,
Nice.
it's so nice. This is something that looks at a broken system and a guy who's trying to do something within it and is critical of all elements of that system, even the guy.
The movie begins with this Democratic operative, Steve Carell, who comes to this very small town in Wisconsin to convince this man to run for mayor.
Colonel Jack Hastings is our key back into the great now swing state of Wisconsin. He just doesn't know it yet. Can I be completely honest with you? No bull.
Be nice. My daughter's here.
That was your daughter with her arm up the cow. I play Gary Zimmer. He is a Democratic political strategist. He lives in D.C. And one day he sees this viral video is brought to his attention and seems to really stand for so many of the values that, the party is looking for. So my character decides to travel to Wisconsin and convince this farmer, this really apolitical man, to run for the mayor of the town. We can't win unless it turns out that this town isn't the Mayberry everybody thinks it is.
We're the good guys, right?
Yeah, we're the good guys.
When they go low,
We go high,
unless we also need to go low, apparently.
only to keep those who would go lower out of power.
So when they go low, we go higher incrementally in relation to how low they went.
Regrettably, yes.
When they go low, we go almost as low, but we feel worse doing it.
It's like studying a microcosm of the bigger political landscape in this little small town. It's just diluted down to a small town, but it's really what is happening all over the world in every country, in all parts of politics. That it's never about the message anymore. It's just about the winning.
Guys like me don't know how to talk to guys like you. Do you have a bottle opener?
No, it's just a twist.
Oh,
twist off.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe he does need a bottle. Maybe use your vest.
But I would like to offer my services. Can we quiet the cows, please? To help you run for mayor of Deerlocken. And if you could get some of them to face front. Oh my God.
Steve was really the only, I really did write this for him and with him in mind. And so I'm very glad that he wanted to do it.
So fun sparring with Steve. I mean, he's so quick. He's so generous, and nothing can surprise him or shock him, so it's a delight to try to get a reaction.
The Democrat Party can't win. They're getting desperate. They don't know us. They don't want to know us. And they look down on our values.
That's we. You're DC elite.
Oh, no, actually, I'm from here.
Faith, I didn't know that. You're from Wisconsin?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, no, Deerlaken. I'm from Deerlaken.
What? Oh. Whoa.
Wow, so this campaign has been a bit of a homecoming.
It really is, Brooke. Thank you.
No. Jon Stewart is obviously a political animal.
Jon is really loved by his crew and the actors. It seems like he's very conscientious of, was like, okay, everybody, those people can go home, and now we're going to be over here. And so I think everybody really always appreciates somebody that has kind of is holding the big picture in their head in that way.
Jon Stewart is one of the loveliest people I've ever worked with. He has such an attention to performance, which is remarkably rare.
I am telling you guys, Jack could be the real deal. This little campaign of ours has caught the attention of the National Republican Party. Why are you here?
Because crushing the last piece of hope in your eyes really gets me off. It's good to see you.
Yeah.
You look fat. I'm gonna make a big deal of this.
It's on here, boys. Game on.
Tons of press, lots of money.
This seems a bit crazy.
Don't put all the black ones in the center. He's running as a moderate.
I would just like it if people walked away from it thinking about the system as a whole and the outcomes that we get when we allow the entire system to become sort of self-propagating, and that the financial incentives are for very negative outcomes.
This is the A-team. All you have is fear.
$20 says I do better with fear than you do with shame.
The Democrat Party can't win. They're getting desperate. This is really just another perfect example of the DC elite trying to dictate how we should live.
That's we. You're DC elite.
Oh, no, actually, I'm from here. I'm from Deerlaken.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
No,
that's what are you even doing?
I'm from
Well,
here.
that's always a great and
Thank you
spirited
so much.
discussion.
So that's a wrap on Irresistible. See you next time. We zoom in.
Bu diziyi dilerseniz Türkçe dublajlı, dilerseniz kumandanızın sarı tuşuna basarak orijinal dilinde Türkçe altyazılı izleyebilirsiniz.
Bizi bırakmayacağını biliyordum.
Buralarda çok iş yapılmış.
Silas yaptı. Ben de yaptım. Bir de Alice. Alice Silas'la evlendi.
Tahmin etmiştim.
Ama hep beraber çalışacağız değil mi Harry? Virginia'daki en iyi çiftlik Sherrill'ların olacak. Değil mi?
Her şey değişmek üzere Pepper. Her şey.
You killed my son. And you killed my sister.
Starting right now, we control the story.
Sadece Dizismart abonelerine özel mükemmel teklif, sınırsız eğlence. Dizismart abonelerini binlerce içeriğin yanında sınırsız internet fırsatı da bekliyor. 24 megabite kadar hızlı, AKN'siz, kotasız, doya doya internet Dizismart Net'le ayda 675 lira. Detaylı bilgi için net yazıp 2850'ye gönderin, sizi arayalım.
Dizismart.
Biraz ailemizden bahsedeyim.
Hastasıyız dede. Ne oldu paşacığım?
Aynı kandan bir düşman ol. En can yakanından.
Kan kustum. Ama ölmedim.
Kadın ya! Belki de bitmiştir.
The force is strong on the red carpet for this Oscar-winning actress. She has her own unique fashion style and is never a slave to trends or fads. Of course, we're talking about the colorful Lupita Nyong'o. Born in Mexico but raised in Kenya, Lupita has a love of bright colors and doesn't discriminate between them. She looks good in any hue and has stunned across the rainbow in red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink, black, white, and even silver. Just as fascinated with fashion as we are, Lupita loves to let her fans peek behind the scenes of her outfits, whether it's her makeup process or the gorgeous green Gucci gown she wore to the Cannes Film Festival. She's also wowed at the biggest events of award season. In 2014, she arrived for her first Golden Globes, topping best dress lists in this red Ralph Lauren. Nyong'o, though, was more interested in getting photos with all her favorite stars. She then headed to the Oscars to accept her Best Supporting Actress prize in beautiful blue Prada with her brother as her date. The following year, she was back, wearing a flowing flowery purple to the Globes and a pearl-encrusted white dress to amaze the Academy. And she looked appropriately out of this world as she unveiled Star Wars The Force Awakens in both London and LA. 2016 saw the star return to her African roots, donning a variety of traditional head wraps as she promoted her film Queen of Katwe. Dressed in a jaw-dropping yellow and blue number to screen the movie in Toronto, she looked stunning, and accessorized with over $600,000 worth of jewelry from Tiffany & Co. At the premiere of The Jungle Book, the 35-year-old had all eyes on her the moment she arrived in custom neon green J. Crew, featuring a deep V design and a gold sequined skirt with slit pleats. In 2017, she kept it colorful in this coral Prada strapless sheath gown, embellished with hand-cut organza flowers across the neckline. For the premiere of her film Black Panther in 2018, the actress again wasn't afraid to show her roots, showing up in a beautiful deep plum-colored Versace gown, complete with an ornate jeweled harness, and wearing her hair in a style inspired by the African Fulani tribe. And last but not least, at the 90th Annual Academy Awards, the stunning starlet looked like an Oscar statue herself, in a dazzling golden gown with black detailing. From England to South Africa to Uganda, from California to Canada, Lupita Nyong'o never disappoints on the red carpet.
Yıldız Tozu başlıyor.
Sinema sanatı tarafından geç keşfedilmiş benzersiz bir yetenek Joe Pesci. Martin Scorsese başyapıtı Kızgın Boğa'daki unutulmaz Joey rolüyle ivmelenen kariyeri, ona gene bir Scorsese başyapıtı olan Sıkı Dostlar'la Oscar da kazandırdı. 2 adaylığı da cabası. Bir Zamanlar Amerika, Evde Tek Başına, JFK, Kuzenim Winnie, Casino ya da The Irishman filmlerindeki efsane karakter çalışmaları tam anlamıyla oyunculuk dersi niteliğinde. Eğlence sektörüne çocukken dahil olmasına rağmen sinemada isim yapması için epeyce beklemesi gerekmiş. Kadim dostu Robert De Niro'nun yardımlarıyla Scorsese'nin gözüne giren ve sonrasında durdurulamaz bir noktaya ulaşan Joe Pesci, 1960'ların ortalarında başarısız bulunan bir müzik albümü de çıkarmış. Filmlerindeki gibi gerçek hayatta da geveze olan aktör, Oscar'ı alırken sarf ettiği 6 kelimeyle bu alandaki en kısa ikinci konuşmanın da sahibi. Birinci kim mi? Tek kelimeyle teşekkürler diyerek ödülünü alıp sahneden inen Alfred Hitchcock.
In this episode of Zoom In, Kevin Bacon, Amanda Seyfried, and Avery Essex star in the psychological thriller about a family seeking a restful vacation on an isolated edge of the world. You should have left.
Come away with me. If I don't get out of here for a while, I think I'm gonna go nuts.
I love you so much.
It's just the three of us. Just you and me and Ella.
Daddy, because you're old, you died before Mommy, right?
Hey, not that old.
It's so beautiful!
Wow.
I love this.
Wait.
What?
Listen. Be quiet.
In this terrifying, mind-twisting tale, a father fights desperately to save his family from a beautiful home that refuses to let them leave.
Jesus, you got enough switches? Does this wall look right to you?
What are you doing?
26 feet. 21. This room is 5 feet longer on the inside than it is on the outside.
How does that work?
It doesn't.
Anything happened yet?
Hello.
You chose this place, not me.
You sent me the link.
I absolutely did not. You sent it to me. Somebody wrote in my journal. Do you like it here?
No. Do you?
I hate it.
Distributed by Universal Pictures and Blumhouse Productions.
Are you okay?
Production budget, $4 million.
That's it, and then you stand up, and we shoot the rest from there.
Directed by David Kapp.
I love scary movies. And this movie.
Hello? Are you okay?
It's its own kind of scary.
You Should Have Left is about a man facing his demons.
Come away with me. Theo is a complicated man. He's lived 2 lives. If I don't get out of here for a while, I think I'm gonna go nuts.
There's a lot of tension in this marriage.
We rent a house in Wales.
It's so beautiful!
Wow.
I love
Wait!
What?
Listen. Be quiet. That's when the fun starts. Ella? Hey, you gotta get to sleep, sweetie.
But there was a shadow on the wall.
I know it's funny, but it's time to sleep. Okay, come on, scooch down. All the way. Grab Bunny. Okay. Good
Can
night.
you turn off the lights for me, please?
Off?
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
Okay. Good night, honey.
Good night, Papa.
This house is enveloping them.
Does this wall look right to you?
What are you doing?
26 feet. I think I'm losing my mind. This room is 5 feet longer on the inside than it is on the outside. Nothing makes sense in this place. Okay, no. This can't be happening. Yeah, this is definitely not happening. Ella? Oh my God. Dreaming. Wake up! The dream! The goddamn dream! It starts to affect my dreams.
Anything happened yet?
I think I'm losing my mind. Somebody wrote in my journal. Time and space are shifting. You chose this place, not me.
You sent me the link.
I absolutely did not. You sent it to me. What is this place?
There was a different house before that one.
Why do people hate Daddy so much?
The judge and the jury all found him innocent, but some people didn't believe him.
I think I'm losing my mind. The house shows me.
He must be guilty of something. It puts you on the edge of your seat. You can't quite figure out where you are, what's happening.
It's terrifying. This movie will haunt you forever.
Always stayed in that house. Some don't leave. The right ones usually find the place. Or maybe it's the other way around. The place finds them.
So that's a wrap on You Should Have Left. See you next time we zoom in.
You killed my son. And you killed my sister.
Starting right now, we control the story.
Size dünyamızı felakete sürükleyen bir üründen bahsedeceğim. Tütün. Tarımına yer açmak için milyonlarca ağaç katlediliyor. Ekimi için kullanılan kimyasallar toprağı ve suları zehirliyor. Sigara fabrikaları havayı solunmaz hale getiriyor. İzmaritleri, atıkları korkunç bir çevre kirliliğine yol açıyor. Sigara her yıl 8 milyon insanı öldürmekle kalmıyor, yaşam kaynaklarımızı da yok ediyor. 600 milyon ağaca, 200 bin hektar araziye, 84 milyon ton karbondioksit kirliliğine ve her yıl 22 milyar ton su israfına neden oluyor. Sigara sadece insanları zehirlemiyor, dünyamızı da zehirliyor. Buna dur diyebilirsin. Sigaragerçekleri.com.
Huzuru arayanlar, riske girmeye bayılanlar, korkularıyla yüzleşenler, hayatı hep tiye alanlar, her duyguya, her zamana ve her sinema severe göre. Burası Dizismart Go. Dizismart Go. Film deyince o.
Whether she's coming straight off a plane, attending a fashion show, or hitting the red carpet, it seems like actress Margot Robbie never sets a foot wrong when it comes to her style.
I had help. I had help for sure. No. I literally wear a t-shirt and jeans like every day, so it takes a bit to get me this glammed up.
The Aussie beauty first came onto the international fashion radar in 2013 when she premiered the romantic comedy About Time. For the occasion, Robbie went with a summery white lace top and skirt from Hermano Scervino, yellow wedge shoes, a matching clutch, and drop earrings. Keeping things fresh, she finished off the look with simple makeup and a messy side braid. Promoting her breakthrough film The Wolf of Wall Street later that year, Margot outshone even her on-screen love interest Leonardo DiCaprio as she walked the carpet in a silky two-tone Oscar de la Renta dress with a high-low hem. Getting rave reviews, the film went on to rule the 2014 award season, which of course had the actress walking numerous red carpets. Attending the Critics' Choice Awards, the star strutted her stuff in an effortless black Elie Saab jumpsuit with lace sleeves. Then, a few weeks later, after she was spotted making her way through the crowd with her signature blonde locks at the Golden Globes, she rocked a dark brunette shade for the Academy Awards. Channeling old-school Hollywood glamour, Robbie wore a black, strapless Saint Laurent gown with an embellished bodice and bow detail at the back. Returning to the Oscars the following year, she was back to her normal blonde self, though, and paired another YSL dress with vintage accessories, including an antique necklace that she described as worth more than her life. Different from 2015's heavy red lip, Margot turned up with minimal makeup in 2016. This time, she let the dress do all the talking, wearing an incredibly glamorous leather applique Tom Ford dress. For the London opening of Goodbye Christopher Robin the next year, Robbie chose a floral peasant-style gown from Brock Collection, which she styled with a wet hair look and bright yellow eyeshadow. Hitting the Toronto Film Festival with what would be her next big career move, the dramedy I, Tonya, the actress sported a romantic embroidered periwinkle dress and simple jewelry.
This is Erdem, and I think these are Tiffany & Co. I don't own either. I'm just borrowing it for the night.
Her lead role in the Tonya Harding biopic earned the Down Under star nominations for numerous awards. Keeping up her fashionable reputation, she rocked up to the 2018 Golden Globes in bold-shouldered Gucci with silver embroidery. For the Critics' Choice Awards, she selected a striped pleated gown with embellished belt, while that year's SAG Awards called for a soft pink ballet-inspired design from Miu Miu. And after being named a brand ambassador for Chanel, she selected 2 gorgeous looks from the label to wear to the Oscars. First, a delicate white column gown for the big ceremony, followed by a beaded silver creation with matching handbag at the after-party. On top of her award season marathon, 2018 also brought Margot a couple of movies to premiere. She breezed into the opening of Peter Rabbit in another flowery Brock Collection dress, adding a bedazzled bunny handbag to match the film. And attending the New York screening for Mary Queen of Scots, the stylish star sparkled it up in glittery high-necked Chanel. She went for a more romantic vibe in London, though, selecting a polka-dotted tulle gown from Rodarte with a red beaded rose detail on the front. Movie star waves and a classic red lip finished off the look. The period drama got her nominated for Best Supporting Actress at the 2019 BAFTAs. And arriving at the award ceremony, Margot channeled an appropriately modern medieval vibe with the big ruffled shoulders on her embellished couture dress. And that May, the actress reunited with her Wolf of Wall Street co-star Leonardo DiCaprio as she made her Cannes Film Festival debut with the Quentin Tarantino movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Walking the famous tapis rouge alongside the legendary director, Leo, and Brad Pitt, she opted for a modern look, consisting of a lace tunic top with sequined black trim that tied into a bow with a pink flower applique and matching loose pants. From sleek and sophisticated to flowing boho chic, the ever-beautiful Margot Robbie never ceases to amaze us on the red carpet.
After years as a struggling actor, Sylvester Stallone's patience finally paid off in 1976 when a studio bought a script he'd written called Rocky and signed him up for the title role. The film became a huge hit, even winning Best Picture at the Oscars. Nobody would have been more surprised by Sly's success than his father, with whom he had a difficult relationship.
He once said to you, you weren't born with much of a brain, so you better develop your body.
To this day, he was right. It's true. No, he said that, and let's say I hadn't done that, I wouldn't be here today. Even though I understand that he wasn't totally right. I have a little bit of a brain, nothing great, but it functions.
A few years later, Sly kicked off another soon-to-be iconic film franchise, playing John Rambo, a troubled and misunderstood war veteran in the action-adventure film First Blood. Though there was also criticism for its depiction of war and violence.
We tend to push a lot of blame for inadequacies and failures in certain political systems on the most obvious. Oh yes, these films are wrecking our society. Excuse me? Those films are a reflection of society. So society was wrecked before the films got there. We're just having to make movies about it, okay?
Sylvester went on to reprise both roles numerous times, though the shoot of Rambo 3 was somewhat troubled.
We planned to make a certain movie. We had a year and a half of preparation. Then when we got here, the plan went out the window and it started becoming less serious. And I believe it's a very serious movie, so I thought unless we can get our philosophies together, then we're making 3 different movies here.
Meanwhile, the disappointing Rocky V almost killed that franchise as well, perhaps because Stallone wasn't in the director's chair, so he made no such mistake for Rocky Balboa in 2006 or the 4th Rambo in 2008.
It's very difficult. It's like knowing how to fly a jet and letting someone else do it. You hit a little turbulence, you want to fly, and they say, no, It's not your plane.
The Italian stallion has also enjoyed a long career outside of Rocky and Rambo though, impressing in films such as the 1997 crime drama Copland, in which Sly received rave reviews for the surprisingly touching role.
You know, I never felt more comfortable in my own skin, because right away I didn't have to prove anything anymore. And you begin to let your eyes and your heart and your mind be your calling card rather than your biceps.
Ultimately though, it will always be hard-hitting action films that people want to see from Sylvester Stallone. And so he returned to the genre with great effect for the Expendables franchise, alongside several fellow 80s stars.
This could be the last film I'll ever do. You know, in this business today, it could be your last film. So I approach it with that sense of finality.
Then, to everyone's surprise, Rocky returned for 2015's Creed and its sequel 3 years later, where the boxer played a supporting role as he trained the grandson of his old nemesis. The unexpected hit even earned him a trophy from the Golden Globe Awards.
I mean, it's a modern miracle that I didn't expect it. It's been a long time since I've been here, a long time.
Maybe it was that success that inspired him to resurrect the seemingly unkillable John Rambo 2 in 2019's Rambo Last Blood.
Now he has a family, he has a kind of an adopted daughter. He finally has peace, but just on the boundaries of his ranch. He never wants to go off it because he knows he has no control. And things happen to the girl and he has to go to Mexico and it's on.
This actor, writer, producer and director has done it all. Just don't ever tell Sylvester Stallone that he's getting too old to kick some butt.
Because let me tell you something. We are children with arthritis. We are young forever.
Şifreler de diş fırçası gibidir. Kimseyle paylaşmayın ve muhakkak birkaç ayda bir değiştirin.
Yıldız Tozu başlıyor.
Çocuk oyuncu olarak kariyerine başlayan, özellikle başarılı televizyon işleri sayesinde emin adımlarla yürüyen Joseph Gordon-Levitt, sonrasında beyaz perdeye geçtiğinde de başarısını devam ettirmiş bir aktör. 2000'li yıllarla birlikte ivmelenen sinema kariyerinde farklı türlerde filmlere katkı sunan oyuncu, Aşkın 500 Günü'yle Altın Küre adaylığı da kapmıştı. 2010'da Christopher Nolan'ın başlangıcında rol alması ise ona daha geniş bir perspektif sağladı. Şansa bakla bir kez daha Altın Küre'ye aday gösterilen Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Steven Spielberg'ün Lincoln'ında da kendine yer bulmayı başardı. Don John'la ilk uzun metrajlı yönetmenlik çalışmasını da gerçekleştiren aktör, müzik konusuna da epeyce kafa yoruyor. Davul ve gitar çalıyor. Sular seller gibi Fransızca konuşabilmesi ise onun meslekteki artılarından yalnızca biri.
Hoş geldin dünyama. Adım Umut, soyadım başka. Koş, konuş, benimle sarıl bana istediğinde. Kalbimizin dışında. Çok eski masallardan gelmiş bir misafirim. İzin ver bak gözlerime, sırlarımı hoş geldin.
Bir şeyleri yanlış yapmış olmalısın. Yoksa nasıl kurtulacak?
Ben ne bileyim. Söylediğin ilacı buldum. Seruma bastım. Verdiğin emirleri harf harfine yerine getirdim. Ama merak etme.